what's good, my man? Um, can you give me a thumbs up for the screen and the voice if you're here? Beautiful, thank you. How you doing, brother? One second. All good, man. Just rested over the weekend. Now I'm ready to get after it this week. Give me a second. I'm about to dive in. Yo, what's good, guys? What's good? Tony, what's good, Fariz? How you guys doing? I hope you had a blast weekend, like I do, like I did. Where's the other one? Okay. All right. Wait, who's Darcy? Darcy? Some Turkish music? I have no idea. Oh, you're talking about these things? I mean, uh, those bookmarks are up there since I was in college. Basically, they've been there for like 7 years. I don't even know what it's music. Yeah, it's not Turkish music. It's basically I think it's house music because I used to listen to house music a lot back in the days. But like I said, they've been there since like 2015 or something. I don't know how to get rid of it. Hey, at least it's not Pornhub. You know, imagine catching me with a Pornhub bookmark that right there. It says like stepsister or something like that. That would be so fucking hilarious. Oh my god, that would have been devastating for me, man. I would be so ashamed. All right. How's your weekend, Freeze? Let me ask you that before I start looking at the charts and stuff. Slow. What'd you do on the 4th? Anything fun? Nice. Some man time, beer time, smoked meat, maybe a bit brisket or something. I can't really speculate it. I like that. I like that. Yes, sir. That's surely how we roll. I like that. All right. As always, guys, I like to start with the calendar because that's the most important thing for me. So this week, no news on Monday. We had basically an expansion week last week. So we had, I believe, like 3.5 days. The New York Stock Exchange was open, and it was just an expansion the whole week. So on Monday, I'm expecting a slow day and probably a pullback. Maybe like the market Nasdaq could take out some sell side liquidity on the lower time frames. But I'll talk about that more when I get to the charts. Tuesday, Fed Chair Powell testifies. Nothing major. It usually doesn't bring that much of volatility because it's not like a news, like volatility injection or like something like nothing like a CPI event. It doesn't act like FOMC usually, unless he says something super weird or whatever, like I don't know, like we were nuking Russia or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So Tuesday, Wednesday, you can consider these. I consider Fed Chair whenever he testifies. I take it as no news day. Thursday is the big day of the week. CPI. You know the drill for CPI. It's usually one shot, one kill. It just goes for the same direction. Usually, not always. And Friday followed by PPI and 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. Overall this week looks pretty solid, pretty good. If you ask me, it's the second week of the month, and we don't have a lot of 10 a.m. news, which is a good sign, I think, because usually 10 a.m. news are just like what we had on Friday. It's usually like FOMC, not on Friday. My apologies, on Wednesday. It's kind of like FOMC deliveries. So it tends to manipulate a lot before it moves, which makes it harder, especially if you're on the wrong side. And frustrates the trader. So it requires a lot of patience. On the other hand, commodities, energy exchange. Let's see what's going on over there. Again, no news on Monday. Tuesday after hours, Wednesday 10:30, Thursday 8:30 CPI. Yeah, for if you like to trade crude oil or gold, I think Wednesday and Thursday should be your focus. Other than that, I would say don't touch it. Although crude looks pretty solid, but again, I'll get to that on the chart. So let's take a look at the charts. Okay, so the whole price action on the 1 minute. This is Friday's price action basically, and the NFP wick right here, it was engineered liquidity, which means the price before the rally it failed to go below that wick's CE. Now then I look at the E-mini S&P 500, it also did not engage with that liquidity before the rally, which makes me think I'm thinking like the market left that untouched for a reason. So this week or the following weeks, if price refers back to that level at some point, from a market maker sell model, short term obviously, I think that'll be the draw on liquidity, because again, the way I see this kind of price action is market leaving that for a reason, so it refers back to it later on. The only thing I'm going to say is, like, if ES took that low before the rally, I would have been talking about a different situation here. Okay, so keep that level on the chart for sure. Besides that, after close, or not after close, but before Friday's close, it was a second leg delivery. It was completed on both assets. They both took the buy side. Range EQ was respected, and right in the after hours it broke down, so it basically like violated the range EQ of the last leg, which makes me think that as it's gonna probably diverge here right now and tag the sell side here, but we'll see. I'm not going to speculate around the overnight price action or the Asia price action anyways. The most important thing is the NFP low. Keep that on your charts, guys, and the dealing range as well. If it moves higher before market opens, obviously you got to rearrange the dealing range, and you got to work on it afterwards. It could fail at the range EQ though. This is a higher time frame range equilibrium. It's not a 1 minute. But the reason I'm working on the 1 minute at the very moment is because if I go on the daily or the weekly, I'm not going to be able to get much information at the moment because there's no high set yet. Market is just expanding, right? So I don't have any point of interest on the higher time frames just yet. Same deal on the daily. Again, I'm not gonna say like, oh, okay, we have a daily fair value gap, the market should go down there on Monday. No, it doesn't have to. So I'm not gonna speculate around that because we just had a breakout. Okay, I would expect lower time frame manipulations, basically lower time frame sell side rates, just to fade that later on. Lower time frame, what I mean by like maybe like an hourly or 15-minute dealing ranges and sell sides, basically SMT lows. Here on the 1 minute, kind of the same deal. Like as you can see on the 1 hour, there's no low yet. There's no swing low. So the only swing low on the hourly is the NFP low. So my expectation would be it needs to form a swing low first so I can speculate around that. So I'm also going to disregard the hourly just for now. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Alright, so cool. 15 on ES, 15 on NAS. We have a divergence at the lows. This is an hourly divergence though. And the NFP wick. NFP wick, like I said, it still looks very suspicious to me, if you ask me. It's very suspicious. But the other thing is it didn't form any kind of smart money reversal just yet. Like there's no SMT at the highs or potential trap or anything like that effect, like no smart money reversal just yet. So that means like it could dig up to the buy side maybe during the overnight price action and then goes for the low afterwards. But for me on the lower time frame, the 1 o'clock candle is low from Friday looks very juicy for a potential manipulation, which is basically a 1 minute micro make a sell model. I would like to see that getting completed basically, because market isn't pulled back at the very moment on this time frame at least. Overall depends on how it reacts to this range and its EQ. I would be looking at either NFP low or a continuation higher. As of now, I can't say for sure that it wants to go for the NFP low or not, so I'm not going to speculate around that. However, what struck my eyes the most right now is, although there's no SMT at the moment on the lows, the IFED here into the fair value gap here, and then manipulate right there again. It kind of looks strong, honestly. Like the same deal here. Like every down close candle, they got manipulated. Basically, IFED'd. So for example, here, I'm not looking at the fair value gaps, but I'm looking at the down close candles and the candle right next to it. Just basically IFED's lower below it and rallies. That's indicating strength for me, and you'll see this more often. I mean, this happens on every time frame basically, but I'll be talking about this more in oil because it's going on in oil a lot, especially at the moment on the daily time frame. So I'll talk about it in oil. Hold on, guys. Okay, cool. About the new week opening gap, it seems like Nasdaq doesn't have a gap. Yeah, Nasdaq didn't gap down or gap up basically. So that means it is forming a rejection block here, which is very important. Keep that level. The rejection block, basically that's the weekly open also. Should be highly sensitive area. On the other end, ES gapped down for about like 5 points or so. So definitely this price action wants a lower time frame divergence, and it is in a pullback because of that. Which means if in the event of any sell side raid, I think ES will be the one who raids the sell side, whereas Nasdaq fails, which forms SMT divergence for a rally. But also because we are at all-time highs right now, basically, I can technically by using standard deviations, but I don't like to use them that much. Um, I'm not gonna like speculate around like, oh, this is the target, this is gonna be the high, you know, etc. I don't want to say that, but rather what I want to focus on, especially these coming weeks, is basically like trading the second leg or the first leg, right? Getting in multiple contracts, like for example, here we have the range, right? If let's say I'm bullish, right? I'm waiting for the dealing range EQ, longing that. I want to get in multiple contracts here, if possible. If market presents opportunity or whatsoever, take the partial at the high and leave one runner for the whole section. So that will be my primary goal for the upcoming weeks or months, as long as we're trading in all-time highs. The deviation fib is junk. I mean, it is okay. It is. I'm not against deviations, honestly, but like, it overcomplicates it for me, basically. Because I mean, technically, you can look at a lot of different deviations, right? You can look at the manipulation, you can look at the breaker block, you can look at measuring gap, etc. Or you can even look at the order blocks. But like every PD array or every deviation will give you the different level. So which one is it going to be? Which one are you going to be comfortable? Are you going to feel comfortable holding your contracts, right? I mean, for me, just like it just doesn't make it. It makes sense, but I don't like to use it that much. Basically, that's my point. If you use it, I'm not against it though, by any means. Can you help me understand why you don't consider this as an SMC divergence? I think you're looking at the wrong low. Those are not the same lows. That's why. They both made a lower low there. Let me clean that chart for you so you can see it better. Yeah, and still, the 50-minute doesn't have a high just yet or a smart money reversal. So I'm not sure if this is going to end up being the high or the dealing range high, basically. But let's say it is going to be the dealing range high for the sake of this conversation. So if that's the high, I think we can expect the dealing range EQ pullback on this time frame on Monday. And at range equilibrium, let's see what do we have. We probably have a lower time frame order block here, fair value gap here somewhere. Let me go 5. Yeah, we have the basically a BPR here in discount. That could be a great bounce for a second leg. This is a higher time frame second leg though. What's your thought on the next few months? Are you bullish on crazy highs? I'm bullish, honestly. Like, I mean, you're familiar with stocks. I know you're scanning stocks quite often, like I do, basically. You're not just trading futures. So for me personally, like when I look at stocks, I'm like, oh my god, there's no reason for it to go bearish, anyways, because like all the major stocks looks actually pretty bullish. And I've been saying this since the beginning of this year, actually, because like I was looking at I don't remember, like Nvidia, AMD, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, like they all wanted in the first place. They all wanted the all-time highs in terms of like price action. And my thought process was like, if the price indicates that those stocks want all-time highs, there's no way to, there's no way Nasdaq rates the last year's low or whatever. That's my thought process usually. So, about your question, this is what I said to Kingsland earlier last week. I'll stay bullish overall, long term, short term, mid term, until we get a higher time frame consolidation, because it is not going to reverse until we get a consolidation. It's basically like, let me pull the continuous contract so I can show you better. So something like this. Hold on. Consolidation, right? Consolidation, or here. Unless it consolidates first, like range bound market on a higher time frame, I'm not bearish, or I'm not looking for. Let me put it this way. I'm not looking for a major pullback. Let me put it that way. So like intraday, obviously you can trade shorts, because what we carry is silver bullet, right? But expecting a major pullback is a different thing than trading short silver bullet. So, and when I look at this leg on the daily, the expansion leg, to me it looks like it's just starting. Like when it diverged here, I'm like, okay, this is just the first leg, and the second leg is even not even there yet. So let me go on the ES. So here's how I read this. Basically, we had a V shape here, right? And then it diverged somewhere here, as far as I remember. Oh, no. Where's the divergence? No. Oh, it's up there. Right here. The first divergence after the V shape. So, which indicates why? It indicates basically we're just getting started. So for me to go major, or not major bullish, but like major, for me to think about a major pullback without a consolidation, this needs to fade all this move and trade below that SMT divergence. Before that, or before any kind of consolidation, I am not expecting any major pullbacks at all. So I'm expecting bullish PD areas being respected on every time frame. And on lower time frame, obviously you know the drill. It's basically expansion, pullback into range EQ, and another expansion. That's how it goes. But be careful about the third pushes, okay? Like the first and the second push after the range EQ, intraday speaking, is fine and safe. But the third one can become very a little dangerous, because it doesn't have to push it all the way up, if that makes sense. But anyway, so my main focus as of now, at least early in the week, it's the lower time frame. I am not going to be focusing on anything higher time frame, just for the early week though, like maybe Monday, Tuesday, because it needs more data, more information on the higher time frame. But for me, so far, by looking at the 1 minute, I can tell, or I can see. So here it just diverged, like as while we were speaking. There's a divergence at the highs. As long as it holds that bearish divergence, I think we are looking at first things first, sell side 575, and that range EQ was already broken. Now once it comes down below the range EQ again, and if it displaces, I think that'll be the drawn liquidity for now, during Asia session at least. There's a rejection block on Nasdaq, so Nasdaq doesn't have to engage with that liquidity 575, but if ES goes for the low, that'll be enough. Okay, which is 5,607 on ES. So if you like to trade Asia session, that's doable. Do you guys have any questions about the indices? Because I feel like it's kind of all over the place, because I'm at the moment I'm not going over the higher time frames. But if you have any questions or want to ask something that you're seeing on the chart, please do let me know. I'm more concerned about how it trades down into the higher time frame dealing range, which is from NFP lows all the way to the Friday's high. That dealing range EQ, that's my main concern. Is it going to break below it or not? If it breaks below it, I think we're going to have an easy short down to NFP lows. But I doubt it will break down. We'll see. I don't want to predict the future. I mean, that's our job, basically. But I don't want to predict where Friday closes, this week. Oh, I feel no. One second. Does the expectation change on the swing low SMT and the inner SMTs? I think we had this conversation with you before. I don't see it internal or external SMT divergences. Basically, an external divergence is a higher time frame divergence. That's how I see it. So basically, what I'm saying is if I see on the 1 minute time frame, right? If I see a divergence like this one here, for example. I mean, I know this is not a divergence, but let's say it was a divergence. If I see this on the 1 minute, my thought process goes like this. Okay, this is a 15-minute divergence, So that's how I see it. Some people call this external divergence, but to me, that's a 15-minute divergence instead of being a 1-minute divergence. Okay, if that makes sense. So here, for example, we have an SMT divergence, right? But this is not a 1-minute divergence. So I can tell like this is either 5. Let me go on the 5. There you go. The 5-minute divergence or the 15-minute divergence. In this case, it's just the 5-minute divergence, which means the 5-minute sell side should get tagged right now. Like simple as that. Plain and simple. Either ES or Nasdaq should take out the 6 o'clock low, which is normal because these wicks at open, they're basically news or data wicks, data lows, data highs. It acts like a draw on liquidity basically. It's like the simplest way to trade Asia. I do it sometimes. It depends on the price action. I do it sometimes, but it's like literally the simplest. You go 5 contracts with like 2-point stop loss, target this, 25 points, easy, you know. It's still the low-hanging fruit, or do you view them differently? Again, yeah, I mean, the low-hanging fruit is basically like, for example, here, the 5-minute low is a low-hanging fruit objective for me on either ES or Nasdaq. Whether like one or the other has to take that low, or both of them. I need some risky options play. If you need some risky options play for ease, what I would do if I were you is like just buy 300 call options Tesla 1 month out, 1 month out. They have, I think July 17 they have earnings, or July 18 or something like this later second week of the early third week of the July. Can I use an SMT as a PD array with your sys? I mean, not as a PD array, but you can use it as an entry, which is very strong, very, very strong. If you see a divergence and if you long that, basically you're turtle soup trading. But what I suggest is, depends on, I mean, regardless of the time frame. So, for example, here, you spotted this divergence and you were bullish, so you turtle souped out low, right? What I recommend is, as it moves higher, so it has one objective, right? The objective is it is going to take out the short-term high, at least, on one asset or the other, right? So you have to monitor that high. If it, hold on, wrong high, this one, right here, or hold on, this one, in fact. If it doesn't take, if both assets doesn't take it out, you need to be aggressive with your stop loss. So you need to move at that break even, because it might violate the SMT low. Because what it means is one asset completed, the other one failed, which means that was a manipulation basically. So be careful with that. That's the only thing I'm going to say about it. But other than that, it's a very, very good execution style. I wouldn't use it as a PDRA though. I like to use it for bias, narrative, and sometimes execution. I think it's a very strong tool for directional bias though, and narrative. It's a very, very strong tool, and overlooked in my opinion. Do you remember my execution on 1 minute on a trending day? I got a long, then I break even very fast, and I said like, look, Freeze, I did this scalp just for you, and I explained to you why I break even my stop loss, because it diverged at the highs, but it took out on one asset. I think it was ES took out the high, Nasdaq didn't, then it collapsed. Do you remember that? Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to trade SMT, that's how you need to do it. You have to be like, after entry, you have to be aware of the highs. And if both assets go like rates the highs, you're Gucci. You're gonna make money. All right. If you guys don't have any questions about the narrative on indices, I'm gonna skip to other assets. I'm gonna also put the charts after the stream on my channel, so if you want to refer back to it, feel free to do so. I'm gonna paint it better for your folks that are not here also, as usual, just like last week. or not, I'm gonna skip on to the crude oil first. Check out it. I'll get there. You have my word. I'll look at Bitcoin. I know it's breaking down. All right, crude oil, very strong asset right now. um, it literally just going for the highs basically. Like nothing has changed here. Like, it doesn't even pull back. And the same thing I mentioned on Nasdaq. Like I'm liking the IFEDs below the down close candles. That indicates strength. So I have like the down close candles low being traded into, but we're getting rejected, and candles closing outside that low, indicating strength. So we have that here. We have that here. Yeah, last week. So I'm expecting really, really, really strong delivery. Potentially this week, actually, expansion higher towards 86.19. Especially like if it could trade above the end of NWOG, I think we're gonna be getting there early this week, maybe like Wednesday. Overall, I think I'm thinking about 91. I don't know what that means for the actual gas money though. Like, are we getting back up to $7 per gallon out here in California? Maybe after the elections. I doubt they'll let it run like that before the elections. Breaker, there's a breaker here. I don't think it's gonna get down there anymore. I don't want to see that kind of pullback. I would rather see the drawn liquidity getting traded into like the buy side raid and then maybe pull back. That's okay. But I want to see the liquidity engagement first on crude oil. I think crude oil will be very good to trade this week. Just an FYI. If you like to trade crude oil, unlike I do, keep an eye on crude. Let's take a look at gold. Silver, gold. Gold actually faked me out a couple times. I was bearish, but it failed. That's the problem. So I was bearish. That was correct. But at the low hanging fruit, it did not take that low. Whereas, let me pull up silver. Where is my silver? Let's go on the daily. So here on silver, it took that low and basically formed a bullish S&T divergence. That's why it faked me out. So the bullish divergence was confirmed on Friday 2 weeks ago, and then it delivered the buy side and going for basically above the order block, 2404. So basically we're looking at all those highs getting wiped out at the moment. Did it deliver range EQ? Technically it did. So oopsie. This is, if you look at it from these lows here instead, that'll be range equilibrium. I don't like the highs, but like from here, range EQ consolidation, and now it formed a trap fair value gap basically. So bias changed on gold and silver. I'm looking at 2404 and potentially higher. The lows are suspicious though. I don't think it's gonna leave it like that, but perhaps after some sort of like buy side engagement, we can see a pullback down there and here, basically at like a higher time frame range EQ down here somewhere. 2245, 55, something like that. I don't like trading gold though, not my forte. What I notice is during Asia session at 9 o'clock ET Eastern time, gold and silver tends to be volatile. It could definitely be taken advantage of. I mean, I personally don't like to look at the charts though, because the more I look at it, the more I hate it. So I save that for New York session basically. All right, so again, 2404, and on silver, it looks like it's gonna see all-time high, not all-time highs, but the external high, which is $33 per ounce. DXY. Let's take a look at DXY. I think the last time I checked DXY, it was turning bearish. DXY is sorry about bitch. Oh, let me go through the chat real quick. Crude has a nasty rounding bottom on a higher time frame. I know you guys don't care about that, but very bullish. Crude looks very bullish. I agree with you on that. Are you partial to correlated assets because of how you love? Yes. So for me, when I look at stocks, for example, like let me pull up Tesla real quick for a second. Let me go on the weekly. I need to clean this chart. It's old annotations. But for me, when I was watching this Tesla's price action, oh, I need that back. Come on, delete them. So when I was watching this consolidation in the gap, which is basically just respecting the range equilibrium, also the most recent swing. So here the gap. I know this is a long. When I'm watching the stocks, not just Tesla, but stocks in general, I know this is a long, but because I cannot look for any kind of correlation with any assets, I don't know the timing. Like I can't get the timing. That's the main problem. That's why I like to rely on SMT divergence a lot. Because if this was NASDAQ, for example, I wouldn't buy it until it forms like maybe this kind of SMT divergence with a yes or YM, because that way you can time it. And because I don't like to trade shares that much, I mean, I basically whenever I trade stocks, it's options. I have to time it properly so I don't have to pay the price for the stupid data. And I don't like the leaps or something. I usually get like a week out. Depends on the price, but like a week out, 1 month out, or tops 3 months out. Like that's the most I'll go ever. I don't like swing trading that much. Not for me. But in terms of like technical analysis, it's literally the same thing. But again, since you asked, yes, about the SMT. I was working on something actually stupid with stocks. Now, for example, Nvidia and AMD, right? They're like chip stocks, both manufacturing chips and working with AIs nowadays and stuff. So I was working on maybe I can find some sort of correlation between those kind of stocks, or like Tesla versus Ford or Rivian or whatever, car companies, or General Motors. I couldn't find it though. It was just a waste of time. Alright, let's get back to the XY. Alright, cool. Let's get back to daily. Gold's crazy manipulated. Yep. I hate gold. I hate it so much. Market maker buy model in Turkey football, bro. That's literally the sell model they're dipping. So it turned so political though, which I mean it's sports, man. Like it shouldn't be political at all. But anyways, I'm not surprised. Some people are against Turkey, and it's been like that since, as far as I know myself. Alright, let me buy Moonshot, Coles, and Andy looks pretty good, by the way. Andy looks like a buy as well. I think it's gonna see all-time highs soon as well. Just like Nvidia, it's gonna follow. And because it's cheap, it's easier to trade its options comparing to Nvidia. Alright, DXY. So DXY, I initially turned bullish on DXY, which it actually delivered on the lower time frame and on the short term. So it took some buy side here, formed a breaker block. The breaker block was respected, delivered more buy side. Basically, it formed the three drives. Basically, like we have three drives here, one, two, and the third high. Third high, original consolidation. So it traded all the way up to the original consolidations, 50%, delivered algorithmically and broke down, which is, you guys all know now, it looks like a low risk sell. And if I'm correct about this, let me clean the draw. That shouldn't be the draw. It basically failed to complete the second leg. I was looking for a second leg push here, but it failed to complete that. So now what I'm thinking is we have all these lows waiting to get wiped out, but the ultimate goal for DXY should be the trapped shorts low. So here, which is March 8, 2024 low. The number is 102.36. I think that should be the drawn liquidity as far as I'm concerned, because it broke down and it's not looking good where it rejected. That's my personal opinion though, because I was also bearish on Euro and GU. Let me check them out actually. They did not deliver yet. Yeah, they're like, Euro looks kind of weird because it's gapping a lot. It's not like I've been saying this a lot, but these assets, forex currencies, they don't tend to gap like every week. So here we have a huge gap. This is a daily gap, in fact, not even weekly. Then another gap, and now it gapped down again. So the forex currency market is very, very volatile. And also there's some news in Europe at the moment. I've heard France is like going through something, started today, about like they had elections and the left wing party, I guess, win. I haven't read it yet, but that's how, as far as I heard, the left wing party won, and the right wing supporters are basically now on the street and burglarizing everywhere and burning stuff on the street. So Euro should be volatile due to those events this week. As for the directional bias though, I mean, like DXY is bearish. If it's bearish, I think we're looking for the equal highs here, which is the original consolidation buy model. But the main thing is, I need to delete a couple things here. The main thing is, as long as it doesn't trade below the SMR, basically the trap shorts, it is still in the buy model. So here, let me draw the curves. You'll see it better. Buy model curve, and eventually this high. But again, DXY has to push down for that. I think it could accumulate in the gap from last week and then rally. Personally, if I was trading Euro or a GU, I wouldn't touch it this week because too much gap. It probably will be consolidation before the rally, because it'll want to rebalance these gaps before the rally, and that takes time, just like how it happened on crude oil. I'll show ya right here in the gap. It actually chopped in that gap quite a lot over time here, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm expecting something similar on Euro overall, because DXY looks bearish. Obviously that means bullish Euro, bullish GU, with the SMT at the lows again. It just formed a bullish SMT with GU here. Oops, that's not the tool I wanted. Right here, there is a bullish SMT. So the most recent swing high looks juicy for me on Euro for this week. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to be this week due to the gaps, but GU should go up there at least this week. Looks stronger. All right. What else do I want to? Crypto. Who's trading crypto here? Wow, $56,000. Damn. Need to clean the chart now. All right, Freeze, my man. Here's what I'm thinking. So, neither Bitcoin nor Ethereum engaged with the buy side from the all-time high basically on Bitcoin. Didn't engage with it. I thought it was going to, but it failed because of I think it formed a divergence at the highs here. But that doesn't matter. This is what I'm thinking. On the weekly level, okay, I think this is going to form three drives before another rally. The reason I'm thinking about that is because it engaged with the most recent swing low, which was supposed to be safe low for the all-time highs, but it failed. So because of that, and there's no SMT divergence as far as I'm concerned, because I think Ethereum also took that low. Let me see. Yeah, it took that low, so there's no bullish divergence just yet. And I don't think it has to diverge anymore, but this indicates to me that it's in a pullback. And because it's the second low is forming right now, I think we could potentially see three drives here into bigger range EQ, which is basically like I think monthly range EQ. Yep, that's the monthly dealing range. That range is EQ. There is a fair value gap right there. That could be a good entry, or good, not entry, but a bounce area. But that three drive is definitely going to be there, I think. I doubt it leaves two lows just like that. I mean, it does it, but this is basically what I'm saying, Freeze. This is what I want to see. The first low, second low, and the third one pumps. That's what I want to see. Now, how further can it go down, though, on the third leg? My guess would be this fair value gap, because it's the closest one to the range EQ. And it should have a hard time breaking below this tick price action anyways. That should act as a quote-unquote support. So the level is anything below 50k, between 50k and 44k. Let me see Ethereum as well. So on Ethereum, that dealing range equilibrium, this is the higher time frame range though, is 2500 basically, and there is that fair value gap there as well. Maybe we could see on the third leg, we could potentially see an SMT with these lows on either Bitcoin or ETH. So one or the other could engage with that low and rally. But this is a weekly time frame, so it'll take time. I think for me, the way I see this is basically, I think it's going to be quite boring for crypto for a while, maybe like for the next 2 months or so. And it's funny, like I saw the last time I checked Twitter, I saw crypto bros. Everyone, the crypto spaces are kind of funny. On every pullback, on every down close candle rather, everyone's crying, man. Like they can't take it. It's so funny. I don't know. Ethereum put in a high low, I thought. Let me see. I think Ethereum diverged there. So yeah, so here's a hold on, why am I suffering like this? There is a divergence at the highs here. Right about here. So Bitcoin made a higher high, Ethereum did not, and it failed. So for me though, that SMT divergence up there, it's not enough for me to go short though. What I would personally would have waited if I was trading this was a trap fair value gap. Like this fair value gap failing, then that fair value gap retest is the short. Because it failed its bullish PD array basically, which is the trap fair value gap. 100%. I have projections that say exactly the same thing. Let's go. I love to be on side with the harmonics. I mean, I don't know if you got that projections with the harmonics, but I assume it was, or it is. So I love to be on side with y'all. 608 of the parent time frame makes sense. A lot of nerds getting faked out trying to be bullish. I mean, it's bullish. I'm not gonna lie, it is bullish. I would be willing to. I would rather be willing to be buyer than a seller here. I believe it's still too early to buy though, because I like precision personally, and that's my character flaw. I think anything below 50k or 50.5k below this down close candle on the weekly is a fair price to buy. But again, I'm not thinking about like fading this whole rally. I'm not even considering that. That would be delusional, at least for now. The third low should be the buy. Simply put. Damn, I miss you guys. I was out for like 3 to 4 days. I literally just didn't even touch my computer for 4 days until now. Feels good to be back. Sometimes it feels good to be off though. Just like forget about everything. I can't even stand the charts on Twitter anymore, like especially on the weekends. I don't want to say, I want to puke. I've had full Bitcoins and sold them back in the day. Ouch. At least you didn't pay pizza with it. That's something. Yeah, man, it feels really good because like I really enjoy it. I've been that kid since I was born. Like I prefer to go out, play some soccer outside instead of playing video games and stuff. Like whenever I go outside and engage with my friends and stuff, or interact with my friends and stuff, I feel better, much better. And it affects the trading as well. When I get back, it feels, I have a clear mind behind the charts, so it's refreshing. Because it's a tough business, man. Like, it's a lonely business, You sit behind the monitor the whole day, your back starts hurting, it's depressive. And you burn out at some point. The more you do it without any breaks and stuff, the more you burn yourself out. And when you feel burnt out, you don't even realize it more often than not. But at least for me, I don't realize I'm burnt out. But my body is like telling me, like, dude, you're burned out. That's why I'm giving you this ache. Be fucking careful, So it feels good to be back though. Forget if you mentioned, how you doing, Dio? How are you, my friend? First of all, I'm very glad that you're here, seeing you here today. So tomorrow, I would say tomorrow, hold on, let me get back to NASDAQ real quick. I wonder if it delivered sell side yet or not. Oh, it delivered already, I think. We could have traded the Asia. Oops. Did it deliver? No, it did not. So tomorrow, no news Monday. We had expansion week, whole week last week. So, gun to my head, what I'm thinking tomorrow is it's going to be the first pullback day. Basically, manipulations below sell size from last week. That's what I would look for tomorrow. But don't go for home runs. Take your scalp and call it a day. That's gone to my head though. Don't take my word for it. I sometimes I'm wrong about these things, but that's how I will approach tomorrow personally. The if I trade, the main focus will be scalps. Maybe leave runners. You know, if it trends or not. I don't think it's going to be trending day, but I mean, okay. Simply put, what I'm saying is, I want to see one maybe small range, but small or large range. I don't know. Probably small range down close candle here. One of them, I think, and tomorrow would be appropriate for that. Basically, that's what I'm thinking. So small range. I'm expecting a small range, and small lower time frame pullbacks. If that makes sense, Dio. That's the first thing I wanna when I wake up is to go outside, though, to just sit in this. You have a great backyard, though. I don't have that. I wish I had a backyard. So stop trading to 5 days a week. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I mean. Wedding prep. Wait, Dio, are you Canadian or no? Or are you in California? You are, okay. So are you like in Vancouver or something? Nice, man. I think I would if I ever come to Vancouver, I would love it over there probably. I have friends. I have friends in Vancouver. A couple of friends. Congrats on the wedding, also. Wake up at 6 a.m. and go to 8:30, then hit the exercise by diminishing returns to you. I mean, bro, the worst part of being in PST is 6 o'clock. Everyone, all of us, like you, Dio, King's Plan, we all fucking wake up at 5:30 to fucking grind. The good part is though, we usually like call it a day before what, like 8 or 9 a.m. That's the beautiful part of being in PST. Then the day's yours. Then you can enjoy your beer and smoke some brisket. For sure, man. If you ever come down to LA, hit me up also. Smoking the dark right. Dude, one day I'm gonna go up north to Monterey just to have a beer with you, furries. Yeah, how am I worried, bro? I don't know, like I actually wanna have, man to man barbecue beer time with you guys. I think that would be fun. Last time when I was in Monterey, I wasn't even trading. What a shame. I'm already fat, bro. I literally don't have a gut. I don't feel full at all. I eat whatever. The town might be lame, but the vibe is good. I remember, like, my favorite, like literally my favorite place in California is Carmel. Like, seriously. I love that town. I mean, I'm not sure if I would live there, but I wouldn't mind having a vacational home up there, and maybe like go back and forth every 6 months or so. But Monterey is pretty close, no? What's sense ab pictures? I'm down. I'm fat, but I have abs. It's just funny. press T here. Gonna work on this. All right. Turn off the recording.